In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to leverage the larger market formula in order to scale past 20K per month and beyond. Okay, so first things first, what is the larger market formula? Basically, what the larger market formula states is that within any given market or niche, 3% of the market is in buy now mode, 17% of the market is in information gathering mode, 20% of the market is problem aware, and the rest of the 60% of the market is not problem aware. So essentially, it's a hierarchy of how aware each segment of the market is. And depending on who you're targeting, you need to have different strategies and different marketing and different messaging in place. And I'm going to walk you through all that. And so why is this important? It's a tool to help you decide which segment of the market you should be targeting. So who should you be targeting? Well, the main factor here is what stage of your business are you in, okay? And if you're in the beginning stage, you have limited resources. You don't have, $1,000 a day to spend on ads. You don't have all the money in the world. So you need to be thoughtful about how you spend your money and how to get more money quickly. And so the best strategy in the beginning to make more money quickly, especially if you don't have a lot of money to spend, is to target the top 3% of people who are in buy now mode. Why? Because these are the people who are in the most pain. And since this top 3% is in the most pain, they're most likely to take action on your offer, on your solution, whatever you're selling them, the quickest, opposed to the rest of the market who they still need more time and more convincing in order for you to convert them on your offer. And I know 3% might sound like a little bit, especially compared to 60, 20, 17%. But when you really think about it, if you're targeting a big market, like let's say chiropractors or HVAC businesses, roofers, there's probably around 100,000, 150,000 of those businesses in the US alone. And so 3%, it's still a lot of opportunity there for you to at least convert one of them so you can have more money, and down the line you can target these broader segments of the market. Okay, and so in the beginning stages of your business, you need to make money quickly to keep your business alive and reinvest in growth. And since the top 3% of the market is in the most pain and is actively looking for a solution, if you're able to resonate your messaging and communicate your value proposition with them, then the likelihood of them buying is high. They're already in pain. They already know what problem they have. All they need is for someone to come along and help them solve that problem, which is where you come in. And so how do you market to the top 3%? Well, it's direct response marketing. Basically, what direct response marketing is you most likely you put up an ad with a clear offer or a clear guarantee and a call to action. Okay, so you're not doing any sort of lead magnet. You're not doing any sort of free training, any sort of nurturing. You're just going straight to, hey, you have this problem. We have a solution. Here's our guarantee. And then book a call if you want us to implement the solution into your business. Okay. Most of the time, especially nowadays in 2025, everyone's putting up guarantees. They're using it as a tool to book calls. And so that's what that looks like. You put up a guarantee, or you put up a clear offer in your ad, and you tell people, hey, if you're having this problem, then book a call with me. And, you sell them. Since these are the only people that are going to be booking calls with you are the people who have problems and who are actively looking for a solution. Okay, and so that's how you do direct response marketing. And targeting the top 3% will make you money quickly, but it will definitely not make you the most money long term. Okay, so if you want to make money quickly, market to the top 3%. In the beginning, you need money quickly, do this. But as soon as you have more money where you can kind of take a step back and strategize more, then you want to optimize for making the most amount of money. Okay, and to do this, you want to market to the entire market, not just the top 3%. The top 3% is by far the most competitive. Everyone targets them. And people just kind of disregard the rest of the market. So there's much more opportunity, but it will take more time and effort to convert someone down the line. Okay, and so when it comes to the top 3% of the market, they're the most likely to buy, but it's also the most competitive. And when you're targeting them, you can get away with direct response marketing. But when it comes to the rest of the pyramid, they're the least ready to buy, and it's also the least competitive. So how do you increase the chance that they convert over time, and how do you nurture them so they move up this pyramid? It's with content. And how do you structure your content in a way that resonates with them? There's a few different strategies. Okay, and here's what that looks like. And so first things first, you have different lead temperatures that goes from coldest to hottest. Coldest means they're least likely to buy, and hottest means they're the most likely to buy. And so when you're targeting each segment, you need to be mindful of what type of messaging you're putting in front of them, and exactly what are you saying, how are you providing value to them. Okay, so when you're targeting the bottom 60%, they're not even problem aware. So your main goal is to make them problem aware. And so how do you do that? You create content where you teach them about your opportunity and about your solution, and that basically you want to be telling them, hey, there's a better way of doing things, and there's a new opportunity that's better than your current opportunity. Okay, and so you want to keep doing that. And then once they've moved into the 20% that's problem aware, you simply need to be posting content that solves their problems and provide value to them. Okay, they're always going to have problems, whether it's they're just beginning in a specific opportunity opportunity, or they're trying to reach a specific outcome that they're having trouble reaching, you need to be providing value, list out all their pain points, and create content that solves them. And for the next two levels of this hierarchy, that's what you're going to be doing. Okay. And so for each person, it's going to take time for them. Each person is going to take different amounts of time to move up this hierarchy. But over time, if you provide enough value and solve their problems, they're going to move up and eventually they will convert. And once you've provided enough value and they view you as an authority figure trying to help them, not a marketer trying to sell them, they will be in buy now mode and they will trust you the most because you've provided the most value to them. And when they're in buy now mode, all you need to do is simply put a call to action in front of them, in front of their eyes, whether it's ads, retargeting ads, content, an email. You put a call to action, and then you move them into the sales process of booking a call, hopping on a call with them, and then selling them on your solution. Okay. And these are the best types of leads because there's two types of selling. There's the direct selling and there's indirect selling. Direct selling is when you hop on a call with a prospect and you're selling them there on that call. And indirect selling is when you're selling them when they're not on the call with you. And that's where content comes in. That's where email, nurturing them in a community or any type of ecosystem. And the more indirect selling you do to a prospect, the less direct selling it's going to take for them to buy. And one of the problems when it comes to doing pure direct response marketing to the top 3% is that if you're hopping on calls with people who have no idea who you are and you've done zero indirect selling to them, then it's going to take a lot of convincing for you to push them over that line of buying your product or service. But if you move the person all the way from the bottom to the top of the pyramid, then they know who you are. You've done a ton of indirect selling to them. They trust you and they're going to buy from you with little direct selling needed on the call. Okay. And also one of the best ways to move people up the pyramid is putting them into your ecosystem, whether that's driving your traffic from your content into some sort of community, into some sort of email list. You want to put all your leads in an ecosystem so that way they can block out all the noise and focus on your messaging. Okay. And so that's how you do it. That's how you increase the lead temperature. But you need to be mindful of who you're targeting at which segment, what each piece of content is doing for the prospects in different segments of this pyramid, and just the overall way you're structuring it. Okay. And so if you got any value from this video, click the first link in the description to join the AI Scaling Specialist community completely for free. We have hundreds of agency owners and they're looking to scale by selling AI infrastructure offers. If you want all our insights, everything we implement into businesses, it's all for free in that community. And I'll see you in the inside. Bye.